Hi and welcome to Advice Accreditation Bureau, the comedy podcast that believes everyone has advice, just not all of it is good. My name is Andy Prokopis and today I'm joined by a writer, actor and comedian who is very well travelled. Just earlier he was saying that he is about to hop on a flight to Cairns. Yes. He's meant to be in Edinburgh. He spent some time in South America as well as Paris, so we'll probably hear a bit more about that. Please welcome Josh Hauville.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. Yes, I'm going to Cairns.
You're going to Cairns?
The culture capital of Australia.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
It is indeed. You've got a friend up there, you were saying.
Yeah, I've got a friend that I met when I was traveling who is Swedish and now lives in Cairns.
Excellent.
So I'm going.
Yeah, nice. And you met her in South America.
Yeah, I met her in South America. I was living there after uni. I did an internship in Colombia for like 4 months.
Amazing.
And then I traveled, this was like late 2019. And then the first few months of 2020, I traveled South America.
Okay.
And we actually met through a mutual friend, like traveling, and then didn't really clock each other. And then like a few weeks later in Peru, we ran into each other, and then she wanted to climb up this sand dune and I wanted to as well. And I had just read The Alchemist, which was about saying yes. And I was like, fuck it, I want to go too. And then I went up and then we just got along and then we traveled together for like 3 months.
Friends for life.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderful.
And I'm going to Cairns. And now she's taking me to Cairns.
Fantastic. And do you speak much Spanish?
Yeah, I speak Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That was like, I had studied exchange in France and like my goal was to learn French.
Yep.
And then like, it was like a year later that after uni, I was like, I want to learn Spanish. I've already been to Europe. I want to go somewhere different. And then I just Googled like, what's the most neutral, easy way to learn Spanish? And it said like Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I'm going to Colombia. And then I found an internship program and I went and I tried to learn Spanish before I went. And like with French, they're similar. So like I had a good base. It doesn't teach you the language, but like there's sometimes I'm like, I understand that, but I can't respond because of like the similarities.
Yep.
And then since then I've just like, I traveled. So it was like 7 months trip there. And then I did the Camino in Spain like a few years later. And I've spent like, I volunteered in Spain. I've just spent time in Spain more since then. Okay. So I feel like I have a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Instead of the original, like I learned in Colombia, which actually probably sounded way weirder on my body. As like a white person being like, oh yeah, like speaking like a Colombian. I feel like I was using their words. It'd almost be like sometimes when you hear like a non-English speaker using Australian isms and it just doesn't sound like right.
Yeah. Well, I'm learning Spanish and have done for longer than I care to admit, but whenever I speak Spanish, I think I'm giving it a real deep dulcet, but no, it's just like proper bogan. Yeah, mañana.
Yeah. Hola, muchacho. Yeah.
But my grandma, she's Mexican and she has an Italian best friend, and they just go like. One speaks Spanish, one speaks Italian. So those two are fine.
Yeah, like I sometimes, when I did the Camino, there was a lot of Italians who didn't speak English, like older Italians. And with Spanish and Italian, if we went slow, we could get each other. And the same in Portugal, like with Spanish and Portuguese. Like you can kind of like, I mean, 80% of communication is body language, but like you can get by with like the similarities. They're almost like, I don't know, unpopular take. They're not different languages. They're just like variations of the same thing.
Yeah. With different hand movements.
Yeah, with different hand movements and different like the French is like way more closed mouth.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed is like French, it always makes you more closed because your mouth is way more like pouty and like bitchy. Whereas like in Spanish, especially in South America, the mouth is like open when you're speaking. And so it's like you're open.
Yeah. Well, my boyfriend, he's French and he French is his first language. Yeah. And I would love him to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
But there's kind of two parts because it'd be great to speak it at home just to kind of help with my development. But I know that he would get better at it than me.
You'd be annoying.
So me being so competitive. But what is something that my mum wouldn't teach me in Spanish that you could potentially teach me? What's a phrase?
I don't know, just in Colombia, when something went wrong, I don't know if this is something they wouldn't teach you, but like they would say, que gonorrea, like what a gonorrhea, for like if something's shit or something's bad. And I used to love that because like everyone would say it. It wasn't like, it's not like it was naughty or dirty. Everyone would just be like, oh, what a gonorrhea. And I'm like, we should say that. I get it. You get what it means. Like you don't even need to go to a language class to just, I get that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So yeah, I don't think I ever got the opportunity to get gonorrhea in Colombia, and just like for that joke, but maybe I'll go back
Probably
and
just
do it.
well, I'm not. What's their healthcare system? It's no Medicare.
Yeah, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe save that for Australia.
Yeah. And not to mention the war, but you've had plans to be in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Now, but you've hurt your knee.
Yes, I tore my meniscus.
Yes.
2 months ago performing. It was actually, I did all the comedy festivals in Australia, and then I went to Perth again for like this French comedy club. They took us there for some shows, and I was like, fuck it, this is gonna be my last bit of the tour. I'm just gonna enjoy it. And like I did my show, and then the next night I did 3 back-to-back shows, but in French, but like 10-minute bits in their lineups. And on the second one, I did a little dance bit at the end, and on the second one, I felt my knee go, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, maybe that's. I immediately rationalized it of like, I think like I'll just rest it and it'll get fine. And kind of did, and then it wouldn't, and then it did and it wouldn't. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get an MRI. And then it's like I need surgery. So so I'm not going to Edinburgh anymore.
So for people who might be meeting you today, how would you describe your shows? It's quite physical.
It is physical. It's very physical. So like the base is stand up. The base is like definitely stand up bits, but then I just kept layering on top like camp, clowny, bits, but then also dance numbers. And I mean, in the show, one of the main dance bits was that anyone can stop me with a baguette. Like I call this baguette the virgin stick because it's my first show, so I'm a virgin. And they can stop me 3 times throughout the show, and I have to dance to like a virgin.
Great.
But it's like a different version of the song each time that gets more ridiculous. But so I have to mid thing just like snap into dancing, and there's just multiple other bits that like a music track comes on for like a punch, and it's just like, but the thing is I learned my lesson because just because you can give everything doesn't mean you need to give everything every performance. I was just like, I was fucking somersaulting onto the stage, like cartwheeling, voguing. And that's what happened. I think it was when I was like, it's like stop starting too quickly on stage when you've just stood there, no matter how much you stretch, like, just stood there for a while. And then all of a sudden you're just like flipping like, and I'm turning 30, so it's just like, you need to be a bit more conscious of endurance and like building up my strength. So I think it's a very good lesson. And
do you come from a dancing background?
Not really. Like I've always liked dancing, be a good dancer, but like, I grew up in Penrith and it was very like butch, and I used to dance, and then I think I realized quickly it was gay, and then I did it once because I used to watch So You Think You Can Dance a lot, and I'd dance around the house, and mum put me in dance finally when I was like 11. And I did love it, but then I went into high school and I was like, this is gay. This is gay. And so I didn't do it. And then I would actually always just dance in my bedroom, and like if I heard footsteps in the house, I would stop because I was too scared to like do it in front of anyone. So it's actually been great because I think I always had the body and the natural ability, but I really shied away even from performing because I thought it was too gay and exposing. And then now it's actually been really healing to do it on stage. And I've been flyering and dancing in public, and I almost was like, I don't even think that I don't care whether this gets people in the show. I actually feel like I'm healing trauma, and that's all that really matters.
That's so great, man.
Yeah.
Like I similar journey, but I don't necessarily think dancing was my calling, so to speak. But I danced as a kid and then stopped for very similar reasons. But I stopped classes, but I still would around the house. And I come from a very warm, friendly house where I could be myself, but at the same time, I don't think I realized I could be myself. However, before I came to that realization, I would invite my grandparents in and I'd sit them down on my single bed and I would dance to Mariah Carey. Lip syncing to Mariah Carey, whilst also like the cherry on top was I would be coordinating my desk lamp that was kind of fixed
as your backup dancer?
as my spotlight, and so I would be dancing kind of like this. Yeah, so
that could be a bit in a show.
That it could be a bit of a
you
show.
with the lamp dancing to what song?
It was off the Music Box album, and I'm gonna say. It's like Now That I Know or something. I can hear it. I can't remember the name of it though. But it was, but I do love that you, it was like your final show. It's like one of those movies. Like we've got one more heist.
I know. It's like my body held out. I actually thought at the end of it, my body was just being like, take a rest before Edinburgh because I had 2 months. I was like, okay, my body's saying rest so that I'm strong for it, but I didn't realize my body was like, no, rest longer than that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. It was like, okay, you did what you needed to do. Now, snip. You
Yeah.
need to sit down and you need to think about what you've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to. But then at first I was resistant. And then now I'm like, life works in mysterious ways. I think I needed this rest. And a lot of ideas are coming back to me that I didn't have the time to properly deal with. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You remind me of a story of a mate of mine, similar situation, but he was in Mykonos and he was at some bar that Jessica Alba was at.
Oh my God.
And he thought it would be a great idea, like a few cocktails deep, to peacock by doing the splits. And so he did it for Jessica Alba and she was like, oh, that's amazing, etc. But then she left and then some friends arrived and he was telling them, oh, like Jessica Alba was just here and this is what I did. And he did the repeat
again.
and like blew his calf, pretty much off the bone.
Oh my God. Blew his calf off the bone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how do you put that on a grinder profile? That's crazy. Oh my God, for Jessica Alba as well. She was actually, I remember as a kid, like all the boys in school, like late primary school, would have like a photo of a sexy girl on their wall. And the one I got was Jessica Alba from Sin City. Like there was a poster in one of the movie shops and she's just like, so she was my like hot girl on my... that I would guess supposed to masturbate to, but I was probably just idolizing.
And this is the thing, like, make no mistake, she is a stunning woman.
Yeah.
Like, beautiful woman. Not denying that. I never got it though. Like, the way that hottest woman alive, I'm like, oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
But not my, like, if I was
who's your woman?
Who would be my woman? These days, Zendaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am one day apart from her.
And you're one.
We're born one day apart. Literally one day apart.
I think for Jessica Alba, it's height.
Yeah.
Because she
tall?
comes across short.
Yeah.
And I think I like tall.
Yeah, and I think
I'm
society
attracted to
likes
tall
a tiny
men,
little
and
woman.
Yeah.
That can.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah, that's the one.
Tiny subservient little women. They don't want some tall woman who can talk back to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm loving Zendaya and Zendaya.
Zendaya, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
Everywhere.
I went and saw the Odyssey and she was in every like she was pretty much in every ad before the movie, like of the upcoming blockbuster films. And, like, she's just everywhere.
Yeah. Hottest man alive.
Oh, alive? I don't even know.
As opposed to dead.
Me. When I like dead man. No, I think when I was younger, I always thought, and I talk about this in stand-up, it's just like, I don't know if it's real anymore, I've just talked about it too much, but Ricky Martin, when I was younger, I just thought, Javier Bardem.
Oh, yeah.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah. You have a type, don't you?
Yeah. I said that. My mum actually asked me this recently, and she was like, we were watching Drag Race together, and she was like, they were talking about some form of crush, and they're like, who did you have a crush when you were younger? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, one person I did think was hot was Javier Bardem, and she's like, who's that? And then like 2 days later, she sends me a photo of him. She's like, he is very hot. I can see why.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
For researching my crush. Yeah, so she had the perspective.
So my crush growing up was Dean Cain from Superman, but now he's like full MAGA and ice, like in ice, and we don't talk about him.
Yes.
But I heard a great question that be interested for your take on. If one one male in the world put his address openly online, who do you think would attract the most female gay men to their house?
Someone toxic, because that's what would make people come a running. So I don't even know who's like hot and bad right now. I guess maybe like I don't think he's attractive. I don't think he's been for me not attractive at any age, but maybe Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that would just get people crawling, or George Clooney would get like people of all ages crawling to their door.
Brad Pitt
maybe, yeah. See, I don't find any. I mean, they're all attractive, but none of them like strike me as like hot.
Agree. I would say Brad Pitt would still be up there.
Yes.
I would say Harry Styles.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
people would. people would go a drooling for him.
Yeah.
I think he's like gay baited enough as well that like people would go.
Yeah.
Gays would go to his place too. Yeah, I think I always prefer someone with a bit more like, I think like wit or a bit of gets me going more than just like pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, who would it be for you?
I don't know. Like saying that, I don't know who's like. Maybe I don't even think I'd find Brits attractive, but maybe I find their banter more attractive than like would make me, I don't know that I would go to anyone's house. I'm so like.
Can they come to mine?
Yeah, can you just like put in an effort? I don't find that attractive at all. Like I really need someone to like show that there's interest. Like I wouldn't find that appealing to just like rock up and convince someone.
Fair.
Like, here I am.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you?
To be fair, they've solicited the visit.
Okay, okay. I don't even know. I feel like I'm so out of touch as well with like who's hot right now in the media.
Yeah.
If we got up a slideshow, I would be able to tell you. Maybe Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, Idris Elba, and I'm actually I love Idris Elba so much. Yeah. Like he's timeless for me.
Yeah. True. Yeah. I can't think of anyone else. Yeah, that's it. Maybe Emmanuel Macron. Just to get freaky with it. He's so like, just to say I did it. Pretty much. He's got a big nose. There you go.
Great. But we might actually move on to the advice section.
Yes.
So I've invited you here to
Yes.
bring a piece of advice that you swear by, a piece of advice that presents itself as good but you think is nonsense, and then we will tackle a listener dilemma towards the end. So Josh,
Yes.
what is a piece of advice that you swear by?
Okay, this piece of advice, I don't know, it's just something that rang true to me when you asked, and that's that you should never trust a bisexual man who's really into bouldering. I don't know. Hopefully someone agrees with me out there. I'm not the only one in thinking this. I've just met too many of them, or like half dated some of them throughout all of my 20s, where I think like they are consistently really flaky soft boys who, not even just romantically, just in life, like just kind of like indecisive, freaky, anxious little rats.
So let's break down this trust.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
so I would understand if it equates to don't be friends with someone who is a flake. I understand
Yes.
that, but don't trust.
Maybe like romantic, like don't get involved.
Don't get
Don't get
involved.
involved with a bisexual man who's into bouldering.
Okay.
That's probably better. That's probably a better way to put it.
And if we have a bisexual man who's into bouldering listening,
Yes.
what would your advice to him?
No, keep doing you. I mean, don't change who you are. You'll just never get near me or my pants.
Yeah.
But they probably don't want that. I think they don't.
Yeah.
Because like they probably want like a rock. A rock or a flaky little white girl.
What type of person do you think a flake would like to attract?
I think they need someone. Okay, I think some of them are probably just like avoidant and scared, and so they maybe need someone who doesn't give a shit, but like isn't too extreme in their emotions or their way of being, and maybe just like consistent and doesn't need them around much.
Yeah.
Or they want someone who's gonna like go after them a lot. Depending on what their problem is. But I think that's what flaky people want. They kind of maybe either want to be pushed, whether it's conscious or not, like need someone to like push them into something, or they really need someone to wait like a few months so that they feel like they've come around to like, can take their time to process it. And I'm just like so impatient for that kind of shit that I'm just like...
Yeah, how would you, like we've known each other for a few months, but mainly just through comedy scene. How would you describe your personality? Like where do you fit in the, say, knowing what you come across as knowing what you want? And
I pretty much know what I want. I think I mean, everyone can be like, take their time with decisions. I definitely as a kid was really indecisive in certain ways. Like I would stand in the video shop for like an hour deciding between two movies, and my mum would let me. And if I ever had to go see my dad, he'd be like, which I think I maybe needed more as a kid.
Yeah.
But I think I've always been pretty decisive about what I want in life in terms of like the things I want to do and being really stubbornly determined to get what I want.
Yep.
But I think in terms of like, I now really kind of know what I want. If I don't know what I want, I will sit in silence and meditate or take the time to like go inside instead of asking for outside opinions and think about what I want. So I think I'm pretty good at operating from my own compass And so I think that's probably what drives me insane is those kind of people in general, is just like someone who doesn't know or is like, I've become better at trying to be more patient to an extent with those kind of people. Whereas I think when I was younger, I would definitely be like, well, if you don't know, then I know it's a no.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not true. And I think sometimes I've definitely cut off people or opportunities because I'm just like, too messy, bye-bye.
So my neurodivergent brain, I think that it's important to have various different characters in your life.
Definitely.
And I have like X amount of spots for people like that.
Yeah.
But when those spots are full, if you're like that, sorry, those seats are taken.
That's kind of true.
Because actually, I can't deal with any more chaos. I love these people with all of my heart. They're my best friends.
Yeah.
But they've got the spots.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think the same. It's just like, especially I've definitely got friends who are like very different to that and who are more, I definitely have friendships where I just know like, okay, sometimes they're kind of flaky or they're kind of, but I like them. I know them, I trust them, I really enjoy their company. And I know that whenever it lines up that we hang out, we hang out. So I think I've gotten better at that. Whereas when I was younger, people like that would piss me off and I would kind of just get grumpy with them.
Yeah, got it.
Whereas now, you have like key people, but I think that's true. It's just like, it's probably that as well. It's like, you just know deep down if someone's worth the investment, even if you have certain aspects that are incompatible.
Totally.
No one's perfect for each other or life. But I think, you just know the difference between that and when someone's just like a drain. Yeah. And it's like, this just isn't gonna work out.
You mentioned before you meditate on it. How often and long do you meditate for?
I meditate at least once a day.
Yeah, wow.
I really try each morning to do stretches and meditate. My stretching has changed with my knee. I used to do a bit more like actual yoga.
Yep.
And even if that was only 5 minutes, if that's all I had time for, I would make sure I do it.
Yep.
Or on a commute, I'll listen to like healing frequencies and I'll just like try and breathe and meditate.
Right.
Now I really just try to work it into my day whenever I can. There are obviously times when I get caught up in busyness, but I think I've really trained myself to be much better at like, it'll only be for a few days and then I'll clock in and I'll be like, well, I can feel I'm being really chaotic. I can feel I'm not grounded and my priority for the next day or some point that day is to get grounded.
Yeah.
And so I'll like tap into it.
Yeah.
And you can't always, sometimes you're just meant to ride the wave of like chaos, but I try as much as I can to like always clock in. And then when I really need it, sometimes I will go for like half an hour. I will even just try and get to the point where I'm just laying on the ground in silence. And then I get up and I'm like, oh yeah, all those things that were problems are not problems.
They're not problems.
They were just me. It was me, just against me forever.
It's amazing how this thing that actually works, but then it takes you so long to do it.
It's and like even though I know it works now, like I still get lost. But I'm better at catching myself of like, you're lost and you can't see straight because you're not listening to yourself. So you always know, there's always an answer inside of you if you just shut the fuck up and like sit still. And
I would say I get a bit woo-woo in spikes. Like if there's an opportunity to, I've done breathwork stuff. I've smoked toad medicine. Like 5-MeO DMT.
Oh my goodness.
I would absolutely do ayahuasca. But what I don't do is like create the daily practice of meditation or breathwork or whatever it might be. And I need to get better at that.
It's hard. It's hard, but it is what's more, I've even found that like I haven't really done drugs in like 3 years because I had like a few bad like experiences towards the end. But before that I had already like the year before done a trip, like a nature trip. Like I did the Camino and I volunteered at a meditation center. And I had never, like before that I was so like logical, scientific, rational. And when I was younger I was a bit more open to it, but then I really as a teenager and then early 20s was like, no. Like if it can't be proved, it's not real. And then I did that like travel helped me open up a lot again to that. And then that trip especially, like I saw and felt things that I was just like, whoa, like I didn't know that like you were able to feel this kind of blissful from like nature or like silence or people. And like and I did a lot of like, there's a lot of dance or like movement or breath work things before you meditated, which I have a lot of energy and I feel like I'm not good at just you're really active and energetic and then just sit and go silent. Like I actually need that kind of breathing or like movement to like clear out my brain.
Yeah.
I used to run a lot. That was how I realized in hindsight, like that was almost my meditation. But my brain was still a bit too active.
And I totally get what you're saying about running being a form of meditation, because I actually feel the same, weirdly enough, about CrossFit, because I am like putting my body like in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I'm in the middle of like a intense workout, all I'm thinking about is surviving.
Yeah.
Like I can't be thinking about anything. And it's just, my head is clear because all I'm worried about is breathing.
Yep.
And that I walk out of the class. Yes, there's the physical benefits to it, of course, but just mentally and emotionally, I feel set in for the day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's why exercise is great. Yeah. Even just walking. Sometimes I'm like, I catch myself like, thinking, spiraling, or like just thinking too much. And then you go for a walk for 5 minutes and you're like, oh yeah, okay, great. I don't know why the hell I was sitting in my room thinking I was going to solve a problem like by myself in my room, as opposed to exercise just does clear out your brain. And it's true. Like I exercise, like a workout like that, like a run or a CrossFit, or even some of the dancing or breathwork stuff that you would do. Like I did ecstatic dances. It's like at a certain point you're so sweaty and worked out that your brain can't even think because it just can't.
Totally.
It's just thinking about
Well, I was listening to a podcast. There's this kind of podcast network called The Wisdom Vault that has a podcast called Don't Let the Old Man In. And it's all about aging, like male aging, and various different elements of it. And one episode was about physicality and some of the things that you can prevent from, like when you're older, from having a fall, etc.
Yeah, okay.
And one of like the number one thing is walking fast, which gays do anyway. But if you hit a certain pace, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, that will prepare you for when you're older to be able to catch yourself if you were to go to have a fall.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. And the other thing is to get out of chairs without using your hand, and so just try and lift yourself up as you get up and walk out. So yeah. Fun facts.
Wow.
But in terms of exercise, what about bouldering? Have you done bouldering before?
Yeah.
Not your thing? Too many bisexuals?
Too many bisexuals hanging off those walls. I don't mind it. Yep. I like rock climbing because I think I can go faster. But see, this is the problem. Like I like to go faster.
What's the difference between rock climbing and bouldering?
You're tied in. Yeah. And bouldering, there's no tie in, and they really they just are like, I don't know. I feel like rock climbing's more recreational for like anyone, whereas bouldering's a bit more like
hardcore.
They're going to boulder at the gym. I also think just the way they have to do it is like you have to be so measured and like slow and precise. And I was always just like, I could see I was using upper body. I mean, over time you would learn how to wedge. I actually although my bouldering came in handy because last year I literally almost died on a mountain in France. I went hiking alone, and first day I had like the best day of my damn life. Like on the top of the mountain, the clouds parted. I was like, I'm so alive. And then the next day I went on a mini trail, like off the main trail, because I had this off-grid map on my phone, and it was like, you can go this way. And I was like, should I go that way? And I was like, yeah, I want to. And like that whole trip, I was like, I'm just listening to my intuition and going with it. And my intuition was like, go that way. And I was like, great. I want to go on like the scenic route. And then it looked so cool. And then I got to a certain point and I was like, where's the trail? Like, it doesn't seem like there's a trail anymore. And it looked like there was like a bit down and a bit up. And I was like, where should I go? And I had all my stuff and it was a bit gravelly. And then the bird flew down, and I just like always look for signs. And I was like, okay, I'm going down. And I saw there's a path further in the distance, and I was like, cool, I'm going to go down. And then I started going down, and then I started slipping, and I was like, fuck, this is like a cliff. Like, I'm not on a trail. And as I slipped, I saw a rock fall down the ledge, and I was like, and my bag was too big, so I actually unclipped it. Yeah. It like down to like this landing. And I was like, okay, I'm going down to that landing. I like scurried down, got there. It was like so terrifying. And then I got there, and then as I was on the landing, I bumped a rock again, and it fell off the ledge, and I heard the biggest drop of my life, and then it crashed, and I was like, I'm on a cliff. Oh. And I looked up what I came down. I was like, I don't know how I came down that. That's literally a fucking cliff face with rocks. And then I was stuck there. And honestly, this is the most silent I've ever heard the world. Like, It was so beautiful, but it was dead silent. And I was like, where is the American motivational music? Like you see here in Hollywood movies, like, you know they're going to make it and he's going to find it within himself. And I was like, it's just me and this big ass mountain. And I'm like stuck in France. And I was like, is this how you die? Like, it seems so stupid. Like, you just probably fall from here and just die in silence. Like, that's so sad after all the things I thought were important. And I was like hustling to make a dream come true. And I'm like, you just fucking like some stupid little slug on the side of a mountain. But then I just like sat there in silence and I even like kind of like prayed, meditated. I was like, I thought I was led here. Like, what was the point? And then I saw a bird fly up and then I was just like, the only way I know where there's a path is the way I came.
Yeah.
And so I clipped in and I had to boulder for like 30, I don't know how long it was. It felt like an hour. It probably was 30 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, I had to go so slow. I couldn't look down because it was terrifying. I couldn't look up because it was too far away. And like, I just had to wiggle because some of the rocks were loose and there was gravel at first. And I was like, the gravel, I'm slipping. I need to go to like the rock faces because they're stable. And I literally, and I chanted in my head, step by step and I'll make it. Step by step and I'll make it. And anytime I had a thought that wasn't that, I would slip. And I was just like, it was actually the most present I've ever been. But I actually thought in that moment of all these stupid bouldering guys, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I went a few times to this stupid bouldering gym. Because I literally remembered they're like, you don't rely on your arms because your arms, if you fall then you're fucked. Like you have to wedge your foot into something in your legs. And so I was like wedging my foot and I was like wiggling. And then I finally got up and there was these two women that I had seen earlier at the same point when I crawled up over. And I was like, oh my God, do you know where the path is? And they're like, yes, just this way. And they're like, is there something down there? And I was like, no. I couldn't even really speak because I was so shaken. And I was just like, no. Just trust me when I say no. And I'm bye. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It was so scary. And then, but I did think of these boulderers. So actually they had it right. I was more patient and more present. And so maybe that's what they're trying to teach me in life. And maybe I should be more trusting of you guys. Bisexual boulder man, hit me up. Maybe I'm changed.
And yeah, so with that, I think whilst it may not be friendship or a relationship or whatever,
they teach you something.
They teach you something.
Everyone who comes into your life teaches you something.
Everyone, yeah.
So I do think like you have to embrace all of them because... And I'm teaching them something, they're teaching me something. Yeah. And who cares what it is? Just take the lesson and move on. Yeah,
and I feel you reached that lesson without any interference from me or the Bureau. So,
that's so true.
So we can revoke it together.
I circled around and this is therapy. I'm healing. I love it.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. So let's move on to the piece of advice that presents itself as good, but you actually think is bad.
So I think... Well, one of them, I think, is that the advice that you always need like a really good plan before you start something or like planning is key. I do think you need to plan. I think you need to have goals and you need to know where you're going. But honestly, the only way you get progress in anything is by doing it.
Totally.
And just like throwing yourself in and having the scary thing happen to you and realize that it's not that scary. It's not avoiding the scary thing. Yeah. It's accepting like, these things that I'm afraid of are probably going to happen to me. Yeah. And then I will realize that's not scary. And then I move on towards it, especially with creative. I'm especially talking about like creative things. And it's like people saying, let it come to you. And I'm like, you got to like be open to things flowing to you and like the things that pop up without your force, like definitely be like, okay, that's probably good for me. But like, if you want to be a comedian or you want to be an actor or something, like just sitting there being like, it's going to come to me. It's not going to come to you. Yeah. You got to do it. You just got to like keep actually flopping until the flopping doesn't matter. Yeah.
You got to go to Leonardo DiCaprio's house.
Yes, you just got to show up.
You just got to show up.
Who cares what he says? You're going to learn.
And at what point, so you mentioned before that you were quite a conscientious, for some reason I want to say STEM, but that's not what you meant. But like just very kind of like diligent.
Women in STEM.
Yeah, yes. Women in STEM. Gays in STEM.
Gays in STEM.
At what point do you think you switched to being that more free thinking flow state?
It was probably, I feel like I was like that younger and then I got really fearful and I was always really analytical. So I think like I would overthink a lot of things or just like think about. everything. And then, I think it was in my 20s when I started traveling. Like my first trip I ever did, I never traveled and I always wanted to. Actually, as a kid, I would read the Atlas and Encyclopedia every night, and I would learn all the flags and the languages and the countries and the capitals. And I always wanted to travel, and we never did. And then I was like, I'm going to do it when I'm older. And then I was so, like, I grew up as an only child to a single mother, and like we didn't have money, and I was like, that got overtaken, I think, in my teenage years by like, I'm never going to be broke. You'll never catch me being broke. You'll never catch me struggling. And so I was like, did law and film. I always wanted to do film. So I did a double, like film production and law. But my brain was like way less focused on like creativity as a way of money and more focused on like, what do people do to make money?
Yep.
They do law.
Yep.
And so I was like, bingo. And then I think I was still a bit focused in that. But then, my second year of uni, I was actually hurt my knee. My knee is always a really good lesson for me. Hurt my knee because I was training for a marathon, but I wasn't doing it well. I was just running more and more and more. And I was working in hospitality like 30 hours a week while I was at uni, like always on my feet at night. I was just always active. And then my knee twisted and I had to swim for a few months. And I was so stressed, and I think I definitely had an eating disorder of just like, if I don't run, I won't eat much. It just showed me how much I was so strict and rigid in my approach to everything. And I was like dieting specifically, just everything. I was a clean freak at home, and my housemate at the time was not, like, to the extreme. And so I think I was just being challenged from every angle.
Yep.
And then I saw this internship in Bali for a travel writing internship. Yeah. And I was like, I've always wanted to travel. Fuck it, I'm going to go. And I signed up for this internship. And I had seen a psychologist a few times, and I told her, and the main thing we come down to is like, I think you just need a break from routine. And so I went on that trip. I did a week by myself in Vietnam and then this month internship. And I was like, my main goal is like, I'm not going to diet. I'm not going to plan my days. I'm not going to, nothing. I just want to be like flexible. And then I realized like I wasn't feeling sick, or like all these things I tell myself about like diet, especially in running, like I was feeling better than ever. Not caring about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think, was the first opening to, and I was meeting all these people who were like, the people running the courses were like, so go with the flow and like hippies. And that was my first opening. And I think travel every time after that, like that then triggered me to the next year to properly go on exchange. And I went to India for a month before that. And that was like so extreme of you can't control anything. And then traveled a lot and backpacked. And then, South America backpacked, which again is kind of like, you can't plan so much there. And life's different. And then, I think all the trips and the travels definitely opened me up to that. And then I would bring that mentality back to life a bit more. Yeah. And I've just kind of then, I think, pushed more and more in that direction. And then performing and creativity, like redoing that has made me, again, stop being so strict with myself because... improv actually helped me with that a lot too. Before I did stand up, of not thinking before you speak.
Improv's great in that sense. I did a couple of improv courses, and look, I struggled with them. I loved the skill acquisition component of improv. It's the safe space, the goobers that roll into like first and second, and they're just they're and I don't mean clowns as in clowning clowns. They're just clowns. Yeah,
they're just like dickhead fucks.
Yeah. And I was in a corporate job at the time, and when you're spending 3 hours on a weeknight after a full day at work, you're just like kind of hating life when that's who you're in the class with. Definitely. But when you sent through the this advice, I was actually trying to think, because I have definitely been told it a number of times throughout my life of it's good to have a plan before you set out on it. It has been a long time since I've probably been told it, but I just haven't paid attention to it. Like, I do think that there is a shift in a positive way to what you're saying of you just need to start. Yeah. And I like that I'm hearing that more, and getting people to embrace how stupid we all look. Yeah. Are you familiar with the term climbing cringe mountain? No, but I get it. Yeah. And it's climbing cringe mountain, and you just need to do it. You're going to look stupid. But at the end of the day, no one actually gives a shit.
And it's important to like, what helped me too was to look back at any time I've had a break through like travel especially. And I look back and I'm like, okay, and I actually saw old journals recently and I'm like, okay, I read some of the plans I had and it's like, I feel like I always achieve the ticket items that you really map out. Like they actually do happen, but the plans I make, none of them have ever happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so what's the point? It's actually a waste of time. The amount of like in-depth planning of like what I'm going to do and like things change all the time. Your plans would never happen.
Totally.
I do think you can like, hit goals, but the way you get there, you'll never know. And actually thinking about it is almost just like torture to yourself.
So are you familiar with Tim Ferriss?
No.
So Tim Ferriss, he's kind of one of the original productivity, life optimization guys. Before Manosphere went toxic. And I really like Tim Ferriss, and he said there's no point having a plan more than 6 months in advance.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Things are going to change.
Yeah, I think it's good to have like plans help you have direction for the near future, and like I think long-term goals are good to set without a plan of how to get there, because you kind of have a compass of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
and then like shorter-term plans are good to like give yourself direction, but then just accept that like that direction is just getting you to where lots of things can come into your path and get you where you got to go.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, completely agree. So we're going to revoke this together.
No plans.
Yeah, no plans.
No plans. It's revoked. I also think it's important to be like the people who are telling you to set plans or telling you any advice, how are they living their life and what are they doing? And it's like, if like that might be good for someone who wants the life that they're living, but if it's not, then you got to kind of look to the people who are living the life that you are aiming to live.
So we're building a spectrum here between people who make plans and flaky bisexual boulderers.
That's so true.
So somewhere in the middle.
I know, after I roasted them and then I'm like, but don't make a plan. So I don't really know whose side I'm on.
No, look, life is a spectrum.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, let's move on to our listener dilemma. We have got a listener dilemma from Alex.
Okay.
All right. I was seeing a guy for a while and it ended before I wanted it to.
Oh.
One of my best friends knows it wasn't a great ending, so it bugs me when I see him still liking and commenting on the guy's posts.
Oh, wait. Hang on, I'm confused.
So,
Alex has broken up with someone.
Someone's broken up with Alex.
Yep.
And his friend, who is still commenting and liking on the post.
On the person that he broke up with.
Yeah. And Alex says, I know they became friendly while we were hanging out or dating. And I know I don't own people, but it still feels disloyal. Am I being immature or should I say something?
Oh, God. Well, I think you should always say something if it's bugging you that much. Because whether I would do the same or be annoyed by the same, it doesn't matter. I think if it's really bugging you, speak about it and you'll get your resolution.
Yep.
Whether it's someone being like, fuck off, or someone being like, no, you'll get the resolution as opposed to thinking about it in your head.
Yeah.
But I do think like...
so if Alex was your friend and he came to you and he said, look, you're doing this and it bugs me.
I don't think I would be like... It depends kind of what... If I felt busted, like if I felt... I don't know if this is 3 gay people. Is that what's probably happening? Yeah. So I think like... Because there's always potential like, are they not swooping in, but are they staying like on good terms in a way that it's just like... You shouldn't. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends because truly if like a friend, if they were my friend to start with, they dated someone and then I hadn't known that person before, I would probably stop interacting with them.
Sure.
For sure.
Yep.
Because I would be like, no, that's my friend.
Yeah.
And I would be like that.
Yep.
So I think I do kind of get it because I'm like, well, if this wasn't your friend before and yes, you became like friendly because we were all hanging out, like, that ain't your person. Yeah. I would kind of be like, I don't know about that. I think you can interact if like you run into each other, but like, actively like commenting and liking and stuff. I do get being a bit like, what's the deal? Yeah. But also, I guess if like we were all friends already and it was just like simple likes or a comment towards something, I would kind of be like, back off. Yeah. It's not that deep. Yeah. And I've been in a similar position and a mate has had this conversation with me before and I'm kind of like,
sure, like I don't get it, but at the same time, I'll just won't like the post.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at least it's fine. But I do think it's not necessarily about owning someone.
No.
It's just, I think it's more of a loyalty.
Yeah, I think it's loyalty thing that's coming into play. Yeah, I do think I would be like, if I didn't think it was a big deal, I would be like, okay, but like I would do it. I would just like stop. I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends. It also depends on how long they were dating. I don't know.
Sure.
It's like if this was like a shorter term thing and then they're still liking, it's like, what the hell are you doing? It's not like we were like, because over years you can kind of develop a friendship with someone's partner. Separate to them, which can also make it complicated when they break up and you feel a bit like, sorry, but like can't hang out anymore. So I don't know. Interesting. Yeah. But I think if there's, I think always say it.
Say it.
Because I've even been forcing myself to get better at this. It's just like, the more you think about it, when you say it, you answer the question.
Yeah. So let's say you're Alex and you're about to say something to your mate. How do you frame it?
I think the instinct is to be like, especially as Australian, hey, sorry, I just like it's like it's not a big deal maybe, and I don't want to feel like I'm owning you. I don't want to before you say it, but I think it's better to just be like, oh God, I don't even know. You just meet up with them and say, I've noticed you've been like liking and commenting on Bla's profile. I'm going to call them David on David's profile, and I don't know, I just would prefer you didn't.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to word it.
No, but see, I reckon
it's so awkward.
And that's the thing. I reckon
Sorry, I
reckon as soon as Alex says it to his friend John.
Yeah. John.
I
David
reckon Alex is going to feel
awkward.
just a bit. Oh, I've actually just made this into. This is all.
That's why I think sometimes
the demons.
It is good to say it because you realize in real time, like, oh, it's actually not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
And I feel a bit silly about this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends because sometimes we can feel silly about things, but it's almost about just like getting off your chest.
Totally.
To live that and to get the response.
Yeah.
And to clock yourself.
Yeah.
But so that's true. It's actually probably better to do. This is a good strategy.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of saying something, say it out loud to myself, and then just be like, "Oh my God, that's too much. That's too much. I don't know why I cared about that." Sometimes I definitely think I have that sometimes. I don't know if this happens for you. For me, it's been performing lately, which is so different. But sometimes when I think things are problems and then I perform a show, that's almost like catharsis and release.
Totally.
And then afterwards, I'm just like, I don't know why I was caring about those little things. Like, I'm doing my thing, we're living life, and like, who cares?
Yeah, I put it through the filter of when I feel myself in a spiral about something small, I go, will I remember this on my deathbed?
That's so good.
And the answer is always no.
It's never,
It never is. And I just go, okay, cool. I need to remember that. And like, it's not an immediate release. It's just okay, cool. I need to start the process of deprioritizing.
Yeah, I almost think it was like, if it was a consistent, like, it was indicative of other times you feel disloyalty from somebody. That's maybe something to bring up because it's like consistent, and I think it's definitely if it's like you feel like you're not being respected or there's like a broader problem in the friendship, maybe good to bring up if you feel like, because then if it's going to affect, if you're going to hold a grudge against someone, then it's worth doing something about because that's not worth it for you. Especially for you. But I do agree, like, if it's not that big a deal, you kind of just got to let, even saying this about friends that we're talking about a Flaky before, like that's what I've let go of. It's just like, who fucking care? Like when I see them, I know it's good. I trust this person. We just operate in different ways and communication styles or whatever. And bada bing, bada boom, who bloody cares? I think I'm kind of like that in dating now too. It's just like, don't get stressed out by those things. It's just like, whatever. If we're meant to kind of like line up in a healthy way, it'll happen. Otherwise, who cares? Send them out to sea and like.
Are you a bisexual boulderer?
That's why I hate them. I am there.
You've identified something about yourself.
Yes, you hating others what you see in yourself. Honestly, maybe it's like I want to be the one that's able to just like live my life in flow, and I need someone to come. Maybe that's it as well. Like I feel like I end up in relationships with people who tell me what to do a bit more, or just who kind of like take the initiative. Because I'm just kind of like flowing. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But I do agree. Put it through the filter, like say it out aloud, just check that it's kind of, and once you've kind of gone through that checklist, am I going to remember it on my deathbed? All of that. And if you still think you're going to hold a grudge, say something.
Say something. It's somehow in a chill, fun fashion. Oh
Yeah.
God, it's so awkward. Have you ever had this when you know you're going to say something to a friend or somebody and you have to go like to coffee or dinner and you're like on the approach and it's like you're doing the small talk and you just want to be like, you don't want to start off with it because it seems crazy to just come in hot, but you also don't want to let it go too long. And then at the end of the like meeting, you're like, so I've been sitting on this whole time.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
It's so awkward. And I also find the dance of, I don't want them to think, like when I set up the coffee,
that it's for this.
I don't want them to think it's for this, but I also don't want them to think that everything is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just getting that balance and tone right of, hey, it's important that we catch up.
Yeah.
But in a super chill kind
But
of
we're
way.
like so fun and I still want to hang out and like, I want to hear about what's been going on with you.
The hours would like collectively be days or months that I have spent trying to get that tone right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's so funny. And it's so funny if you see anyone do this kind of thing and then you just know they're like, have practiced in the, I don't know, the idea of someone practicing in the mirror like so long about something and then it comes out so wrong and different and it doesn't matter. You should have just blurted it out.
Josh, there are times where I've been at a catch up and I will go, I've actually written this down because I want to make sure that it's right. I pull out the notes app and I read. Like,
you read it to them?
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, and see, this is the thing. I am an intense personality. I would be quite ashamed of my intense personality for many, many years. However, lately I'm just like, no, this is just
I think do you?
Yeah,
I think
totally.
I fully agree. Like, I think like even that's why I think this thing with Alex. It's like, I think if something's plaguing you, let it out. I don't know. Almost like maybe it's gonna give. I always think now, whatever I'm being propelled to say is gonna help everyone if I say it.
Yep.
And that might not be comfortable. I might look wrong. And I also allowing yourself to be the villain in someone else's story.
Totally.
If you need to blurt something out.
Yeah.
I do think like, we shouldn't be, I'm not for playing cool if you don't feel cool.
Yeah.
Because I think it like is just builds to weird resentment and cancer. So I think that you should be honest about it. You say you're a Scorpio, right?
Yeah,
So
I am
you're
a
supposed
Scorpio.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo. I feel like we're also supposed to be really analytical and a bit like precise.
Yeah. Scorpios feel things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a description of like disagreements or arguments or wars even is you're not living your life the way that someone else believes that you should. And that's all it is. That's, there's something that you are doing that, someone believes you shouldn't be doing. And it's like, it's as long as Alex can accept that this is his, let's call it his crazy.
Yeah.
And he can own that.
Yeah.
As long as he can own that the other person has their own crazy that
they're allowed to deal with.
They're allowed to deal with as well.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let it out.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah.
And are you plugging anything at the moment?
Not really. I have a Sydney Fringe show I'm doing October 3rd, a new stand-up show. It was originally called Some Homo Sapien. That's what's going to have to stay as because it's listed.
Yeah.
But the idea I have now is more just Homo Sapiens. And it's going to be like, it's not taking the book Sapiens, but I'm picturing the concept of how it goes through like the history of humankind.
Awesome.
Mine's going to go through the history of Homo kind.
Great.
And it's kind of going to be stand-up, but blended in with, I'm actually researching in addition to like stand-up and personal stories and opinion kind of on like homosexuality, masculinity, and like almost like spirituality in a way.
Awesome.
But kind of both factual crazy things and maybe made up things of like homosexual from a gay slug until like modern day gay person.
Beautiful.
Because there are some crazy facts out there of different things that gay people have been considered as or like in history. And kind of covering all that with still like the personal take of like finding gay identity. But
awesome.
So
Can you give us a teaser of one crazy fact?
Well, even just recently I heard from somebody that Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond book, says that gay people can't whistle. And so I think that's kind of hilarious. And I'm just going to make every man in the crowd try and whistle and be like, gay, you are gay. Give them a gay hat. And hopefully find some bogan man who can't whistle.
Which is weird because I can whistle, but my brother can't.
See, it's just like bullshit.
Yeah.
And even just the concept of gay James Bond, which I kind of want to make into a movie. It's
Right.
just like a silver fox gay James Bond and like all the femme fatales are twinks. But like a serious movie, but there's just like
And
ridiculous.
just rotating twinks.
Because twinks are endless. That's
Just
that's
aging
what,
out.
Yes. It's just like the only thing that's sure in life is that there will be batches of twinks
That's
every
it.
year coming out of the closet, just like for use and abuse. Don't know if that's good advice.
Fantastic. Well, look forward to seeing
End
it.
on that, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks for coming in,
Yeah,
Josh.
thank you. This is great.
Yeah, enjoy camp.